With myself, ODPixel and Draskell, as we're ready to get ourselves into a very exciting matchup. Nitus Vincere up against the side of Alliance. El Clasico indeed, and it couldn't get more classic than the first picks. Havorce Gyrocopter and Bulldog Furion. Andy.
Yeah, it's really exciting to watch these two teams play against each other. But before we get too far into the draft, I just want to make clear to everybody who's watching, Undying and Centaur are both auto-banned for this series.
Okay.
So you cannot play either of them, which is why you didn't see them banned or picked right now. So Alliance obviously getting their hands on the Bulldog Prophet, a hero that they're going to be, well, at least Bulldog's going to be happy that he gets to play. He loves being the rat. Navi, like you said, Havorce and the Gyrocopter, and also starting off Queen of Pain. Both these teams getting a really strong opening too.
Yeah, and the ban's interesting enough. Obviously, Navi with the DK first ban. Beastmaster as well, very understandable. Banning out Ake's Chen. I totally understand. We got Madge, obviously very good on the Night Stalker, take that away from him. And then in return, getting rid of the Seneko Visage, something that we have seen quite a lot recently. Now getting rid of the Phonic Bounty Hunter, and then the Io and the Enchantress, obviously two heroes as well that Na'Vi, like a lot of other teams, are very good at utilizing. So, I mean, Na'Vi and Alliance, they obviously know each other very well.
Yeah, if you look at Alliance's bans, it's pretty much tailor-made to ensure that Bulldog has an easy game. Like Enchantress, Wisp, and Bounty Hunter are all complete nightmares for Nature's Prophet at some point in the game. Like Bounty Hunter later on just kind of hunts you and walks around where, I mean, you have Enchantress in the beginning of the game who can just be a nuisance during a laning phase, and then obviously relocate ganks are great against Prophet too. There's a lot of ways that he can be countered, and it seems like Alliance are pretty much taking them all away. So looking at Bulldog to have a pretty solid match here. And the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Mad, he's going to be doing the drafting for the team here in this game. And so far, I really like Alliance's lineup. It's nice to be able to ban out these types of heroes because normally you probably would have already seen an Undying pick. And Undying actually makes Prophet worse too. So in a way, the fact that Undying and Centaur are both auto-banned kind of makes Furion a stronger pick also. Because it's adding like 2 more heroes to the pool, which could kind of semi-counter the hero in a way. And you don't even have to worry about banning them because you just can't pick them.
We're going to have Rubik picked up for the side of Na'Vi now, third pick in, of course, on top of the Dendi Queen of Pain that we're going to expect to see him pick up. And the Rubik already against an MP and a Shadow Fiend in a line. Pretty nice game for the Rubik.
It's just a nice game for Rubik because you have Gyro already. It's just nice to be able to go in and just get a lift into a Rocket Barrage into a pretty easy kill. In terms of spells to steal, there's not really a ton of useful abilities. Like getting teleport is nice from the Nature's Prophet. If you catch him like TPing in and you manage to like immediately steal, you can get that, which is kind of cute. But from Lion, you can steal some pretty useful stuff, or pretty useful things. That's the main hero that I would try to steal from this game if I were in his shoes.
Okay, well now we're into the 4th pick for the side of Alliance. They've got their offlaner, they've got their mid. Still looking for the 2 heroes to add to that potential tri-lane. Anyone that's still in the pool that you're surprised hasn't been touched upon that at this far into the picks and bans?
Well, I mean, with no Undying and Centaur, it's like you would think one of those heroes obviously would have come up by now. And with them being gone, there's also a possibility for other heroes that we don't get to see as much being played here. But for Alliance, I mean, they already got the Pycat Shadow Fiend. They got the Bulldog Prophet. And I'm assuming Magica is going to be playing on Lion. So we're looking at a hero for Loda, which, I mean, there's still a lot of options. The thing is, it's kind of hard to pick a carry right now because you see Gyro and Rubik. That could very easily be an aggressive tri-lane like you were mentioning a bit earlier. And then Queen. So you have nothing but really strong laners. So you want to be hesitant on what to pick in terms of your core hero. But it looks like they're going to be running a position 1 brew, which is still really good. Like just being able to get to your Blink Dagger timing and just cause utter havoc in team fights. Alliance's draft in a 5v5 up until the brew pick was relatively weak and compared to what Na'Vi had, right? Because they're playing around the Prophet. So obviously when you pick a Prophet, your 5-man's not going to be great. But with Brewmaster, he gives you a ton of control during the mid game. Once you get that Blink Dagger going, you throw out a split, you can just keep the Gyro out of the fight, or maybe the Queen or the Shaker, depending on who you want to disable. But it does mean the Rubik is also going to have a bit of a nicer time as well. Because as soon as the split ends, if you're not on point with throwing out your clap or getting a Drunken Haze out, you can get the split stolen. And that is something that the Rubik's going to be trying to do quite a bit this game.
Okay, and well, Earthshaker is going to be the 4th pick, so the 2nd support for the side of Na'Vi. And I mean, already Rubik, Earthshaker, and Gyro, that's a pretty scary potential tri-lane.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always the potential for the Earthshaker to be the solo laner if they wanted to, but you think more than likely Na'Vi going to run this aggressively?
The Shaker's pretty level starved. I don't know if it's going to be a tri-lane Shaker. Maybe they feel okay putting the Shaker versus the Prophet, if Alliance go for some kind of defensive tri-lane or something like that. Because Chen and Enchantress are both taken out, and Enigma actually. So all like the primary junglers that Alliance would want to run for Ake are just gone. So with that being said, Na'Vi, if they decide to go aggro, leaving Shaker versus Prophet 1v1 is actually fine.
Okay.
Like Shaker would not necessarily free farm, but he wouldn't like get killed or anything like that. And then they could look to go aggressive with another hero with a gyro and the Rubik. I'm not sure what support they want to pick as of yet, but Alliance actually looking at support for themselves right now too.
Indeed, this final pick now for the side of Alliance. Going to make it a little bit clearer what they want to run with the Broom.
Dazzle, nice.
It's going to be a Dazzle, and obviously with the Shadow Fiend already, you've got a nice kind of little physical damage aura strat running with the presence of the Dark Lord now with the Dazzle ultimate, and also the fact that obviously with the Nature's Prophet and the Brewmaster, Bulldog, we know he likes to build his Nature's Prophet very aggressive, get those big damage items on. That's going to be very nice as well with the Dazzle. And Na'Vi final pick Lich, so it looks like it is going to be the solo lane Funny Curve Shaker.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming it would be at the very least a 1v1 Shaker.
Yeah.
They could also decide to go with a dual lane Lich Shaker, because the kill potential of Alliance's tri-lane is okay, but it's not amazing. So if you really wanted to play it greedy, you could just put the Rubik with the gyro and then do Shaker Lich off lane, just queen mid. The one risk that you run is if the off lane ever gets too far out of position, Bulldog can TP in, and then it becomes a 4v2, and then you might actually just end up losing a hero. So that's always going to be a concern. But just against Rubik Gyro, the Prophet will have some issues. Like if he doesn't have tree summons available and he gets lifted, he's pretty much dead to rights. Like you get a couple points into homing missile, you get your rocket barrage going, and he can die very quickly.
Okay, well, we'll just get ourselves loaded into this game, and it will be interesting to see how it goes down, and also just interesting down to the fact that we're not seeing an Undying. And we've seen a lot of Undying recently, so it's kind of something a little bit different here as we get ourselves into the game. Alliance versus Na'Vi here at the ASUS ROG Dream League Season 3, Game 1 of the 2-game series. I'm going to be joining you alongside Draskell here for these 2 matches, and hopefully we'll have a couple of exciting ones in front of us to get our teeth stuck into this evening. But anyway, on the side of Na'Vi, who have we got? We've got Horvorst. He's going to be on that position 1 gyrocopter. He's going to be supported up by Seneko on the Rubik at the moment. Going on his own to the bottom lane will be Funnick on the Earthshaker. Dendy heading towards the mid lane on that Queen of Pain, and finally, of course, Artstyle on the Lich. Looks like we're having a... What the hell? Did you see that?
What does it even mean?
Did you see that that effigy? Yes.
Oh, it's a bad server.
I don't think we should go back on that. Yeah, it's a bit rude. That one's fine because it's a different language. But that is a fantastic effigy. Whose effigy is that? Was that... that was... Okay, it's Funnick's. Fantastic. Really nice Funnick. Very funny.
So they're asking for a rehost because they got a bad server. Some servers just have really bad routing, and then the ping is just not great. So they're just gonna... Well, they're asking for the AP rehost. So looks like both teams maybe agree.
Alliance agrees on playing. Okay.
Lotus says it's cool, so we will be remaking the game.
We're gonna go for Stockholm, guys. None of this Luxembourg rubbish. So, sorry again.
The good manner between all teams.
Yeah, teams are being nice, and hats off to Alliance, because you can imagine they'd be a bit annoyed with how it's, you know, what's happening.
Well, they actually got their way, so they shouldn't actually be annoyed at all.
I guess they'd be less annoyed.
Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, we're just gonna have a quick remake here between these 2 sides. And I mean, yeah, I know we said it, but it should be a good one. It's always nice to see Na'Vi versus Alliance. Obviously, both teams, they've come a long way since back in the day. You know, they've had their ups, they've had their downs. You know, Na'Vi, actually, no, I can't really say anything. I don't want to say anything about the game they've just had, just in case of spoilers, but so I'll just say they've played a game against Cloud9. Yeah, but so they played a game. We can't really talk about. I don't want to spoil anything for people.
I saw what happened, so I can't say anything either.
You didn't see what happened.
No, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we both saw what happened. But they'll be good games, so go watch them. I probably will win after we've done this. Obviously, wasn't able to watch them because we were casting, or at least trying to cast.
Well, we were...
A few hiccups.
In our like 15-minute delay, we actually had the game open on that screen.
We did, yeah. I was watching the game here. But it's a good job you guys are watching this stream, because this is the ASUS ROG Dream League. And
here at the...
Monster Hack Dream Energy Studios.
Close enough.
Monster Energy
DreamHack
Studios. That's it. There we go.
Nailed it.
So, right, we're loading back in.
Yep.
Are we doing it all pick? Yeah, we're going to be able to pick everyone up
course.
pretty quickly. So we should be able to get the game back on its way.
No. Really?
Oh,
really
come
art
on.
style?
Okay, art style.
Really art
We've
style?
gone back in all pick. Art style picks up techies because he thinks it's funny. So I think
They're gonna
Is he
ask
not
for
gonna lose
another.
gold
They're
for
gonna
that?
ask for
Yeah.
another rehost
Because
because
he's
he
gonna
just
lose-
lost money.
he's lost money. And he's lost me money. Alright. Art style, thank you.
Wait, did he random it? Yeah, he randomed. Okay.
Okay, so he's alright. So the
No,
goal's the
he
same.
still loses money.
Does he?
I think, doesn't he?
Yeah. He still loses money, yeah.
No, he doesn't because you
No.
get bonus goal for randoming and,
And then you
repick.
lose it.
So you actually,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I never random
Yeah, looks like
anymore.
we're remaking. That's true. So yeah, it must be starting on less. Well, sorry about this, guys. Art style, your little joker.
Trying to pull one over on us.
He's a cheeky one. Picking techies. Who does he think? Who does he think he is, eh?
Did they actually rehost though?
Arthur.
I think the game would have started by now if they didn't.
What's happening? No, it's timing out at the top. Here we go. We're in.
No?
No?
Mm-mm.
No, you're being...
I don't know what's going on anymore.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
Oh, we're in. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, okay,
We're
they're
fine.
not
Wait,
gonna
is he the goal less money? Yeah.
Yeah, he does have less
Okay,
money.
so yeah, Art Style has decided to start the game on less money.
But it's not
because
much
he wanted
less.
to pick techies.
It's not much less.
Yeah, he's down on 525 gold here at the start.
He lost like
Oh,
100
are
gold.
they going to restart again because of Art Style?
He could have just misclicked, honestly.
What, misclick techies? We have, by mistake, Art Style random techies. Oh, that's fantastic. Can we have a remake? I mean, it would be
Magica
techies.
just
If you
says,
click the random
we've been
button.
playing since 1800 CEST, and we still have not yet played a single game.
We're going to have a remake because Art Style random techies. So, I mean, it would be techies, wouldn't it? If he misclicks the random button, who else would it
I mean,
be?
the only other hero that would
Techies.
have been suitable is Troll.
Yeah,
Right.
That would have been.
That would have been good.
Very apt as well. But the techies random not good enough for the side of Na'Vi. We are going to remake again for the second time here with Na'Vi versus Alliance, and this time we're going to hope that Art Style doesn't click that random button because it's causing some issues here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague league play. That is.
We may get to see one game today. I make no promises.
We've
for
seen
the
what,
future.
half of a game.
I'd say like 3/4 of a game.
Quarters of a game. Let's
Yeah.
be fair. It's. But are you enjoying the league play so far?
What league play? Oh, you don't mean just today?
No, I mean all day. I
You-
mean
you
just the
mean
league
like
play in general.
all of it?
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't it? It's
I
been
mean,
good.
watching Empire's been fun.
Empire has been fun. Are you a bit of an Empire fanboy?
Well, I like watching good Dota. I'm not really necessarily partial to a team as much as I
Well,
am
as
just
you
watching
shouldn't
people
be
do
as
well.
a caster.
Yeah,
You
but
are
I mean, it's just
impartial.
my personality in general. Like, I don't really gravitate towards any
Empire
one
kind of
particular.
that's how you would play if you were a pro
Well, they
team.
slay. They end the game in like 30 minutes. That's like the dream for a caster.
There we have it. There we have it. We're back in. They're picking up heroes. No techies this time.
No one's randomed.
Thank you, Art Style.
Well played, well played.
We
You
should
just
be good.
spam that in all chat. Wait, is somebody AFK? Okay, Funix
Oh,
here.
it's fine.
We're
Felix
good.
here. He's turned back on. Okay, so we might be actually able to cast some Dota here, Andy.
Maybe.
Maybe. Let's not get ahead of
Don't
ourselves.
jinx it. We might have to
Like-
do some more memes to pass the
memes.
time.
God, I think I'm all memed out today.
Yeah, honestly, I
I'm
think
gonna need to lie down and
I'm like
and a cold
exhausted
beverage.
after filling that segment for like
Yes.
50 minutes or
We've
however
done
long
a lot
it
of
was.
talking.
Yeah.
So
Not
thanks
even
for
about
sticking-
Dota, just talking.
Well, we're doing our best here, guys. I hope you appreciate it.
Hmm.
We are ready, I think. It's timing down. 20 seconds is the timer at the moment on this game. I'm not sure why we see this screen because normally we should
I
be
think
able to see
sometimes
the
people
round.
don't load in
Is it
or
'cause it's-
something.
Or is it because it's all pick? Do we have to wait on all pick? I guess you do.
Yeah, at the end. When the last person picks a hero, there's like another countdown
8,
timer. I think that's nice.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
We did it.
We're in game, boys.
We did it. This
And
time
girls,
we
I
did it
guess.
without you, Reddit. Let's get ourselves into the game. Alliance versus Na'Vi.
Always
Me
want to
and you
take
did it,
credit.
Draskell. We did it as a pair. We did it
Together.
as a couple.
We channeled our energy into
We
Dota.
did. We channeled our energy. We don't need any of Twitch chat channeling their energy towards us. We've got it all here beneath the desk. Ladies and gentlemen, Alliance versus Na'Vi. As we're able to kick it off, I'll go through Na'Vi again, just in case anyone's joined after that. A little bit of a hiccup. So it's going to be Dendi on the mid lane Quap. It's going to be Artstyle on the support Licher off lane. It's going to be Funnick on that solo lane Earthshaker, Forced on his signature gyrocopter. And finally, that's going to leave Seneko on the Rubik. I'm ODPixel. I'm here with Andy, aka Draskell. Draskell, do you want to tell us what's going on the side of Alliance?
Well, first and foremost, we're going to have Ake. He's going to be handling his Dazzle. And followed by that is Pycat on the Shadow Fiend. Magicka. Drafter going to be playing Lion. Loda is going to be playing the position 1 Brewmaster. And of course, the cheeseburger man himself, the Nature's Prophet Bulldog.
Indeed. This is, I mean, there's some iconic picks on both sides here.
Yeah.
It's well, Rocket Barrage there. That's exactly what a Vorce thinks about a Bulldog there. Easy 40 XP.
You mentioned iconic heroes, and you know what I miss? I miss the TI3 Havost Alchemist that got like a triple kill against a tri-lane, just kiting around his tier 1 tower on the safe lane. That was like some of the most unbelievable stuff I've ever seen. And I don't know if it was because the other team was just being really bad, or if he was just that good.
Maybe it's just a Vorce being a Vorce, you know.
If there was ever a time to fanboy, that was the time.
Back in the day. But now, Na'Vi, they're trying to, you know, regain themselves back to their former glory, and maybe this is going to be the game to do it. Alliance as well themselves, been looking very strong recently. Obviously, there was a bit of a mess up in that early series against Empire, but you can't deny the fact that Alliance looked very good in that game.
Yeah, I feel like they had an advantage for quite some time until the unfortunate bug started arising, and after that it was like, welp, suddenly game is difficult after we lose like 2 team fights in a row because of it. But still, Alliance, I think they're definitely going to be coming into this feeling confident.
Yeah, so the tri-lane for Alliance will be on the aggressive. It's up against Tavors at the moment. He's got the support of Rubik. Lich actually hanging around with the Earthshaker. Funnick down on the bottom lane to deal with the Furion. I mean, lane-wise, who's coming out on top here for you?
Well, bottom lane, the Furion's going to do okay, but he is also not going to get total free farm just due to the Lich being around. Depends on if Artstyle feels like he wants to stick there, but as of right now, I think he might just be moving to top. And if it's Lich Rubik Gyro against the tri-lane of Alliance, the Lich will just passively win Na'Vi the lane so long as they don't get caught. Nice lift from Sonico there.
Holding back Loader so he can't get the old clap out, and Artstyle is going to head to top, so he's going to try and turn it into this tri-lane versus tri-lane, because Funnick should be able to find easy levels and even a fair bit of CS against the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. He even started with a Stout Shield, so the Treants aren't going to be as annoying. They did buff him though, a little bit, and they also nerfed regular Stout Shield, so you only block 16 damage now, as opposed to 20, where if you buy a Poor Man's, you actually block 20 again, so let's see. Funnick is still taking quite a bit of damage here.
It's going to be interesting to see how the mid lane goes as well. Obviously, Pycat, we saw how strong he could be in the mid lane in that first one against Empire. He was absolutely dominating Resolution. He could be very dead here. Then he just comes in with the dagger and a few right clicks. And we're talking about how strong Pycat was looking earlier, but Dendi, you know, there's no questioning his ability on the Queen of Pain, finding the first blood there. Top lane, they'll find an Earth Spike onto Vorst. He pops the Rocket Barrage. Loader, he's taking so much damage from it. Admiral Bulldog TP's in. Welcome to Kappa Club. Jaro goes down, and now with the body blocking here of the Treants, they're going to maybe find Artstyle as well. Look at this control. They will indeed. It's going to be another kill there for Alliance, and well, that's what happens when you let Bulldog get the old Nature's Prophet.
His Prophet is completely insane. Like, very few Prophet players would have been able to kill the second hero there, the Lich, of course, but still, very phenomenal play from Bulldog, as we would expect on that hero.
Dendi playing very close to death's edge here in the mid lane, but there's a rotation from Seneko. He's going to be able to telekinesis back. Pycat, and Pycat takes a dagger to the backside and the right click. He'll go down in the mid lane. 2 for 2 so far, and this certainly looks to be the beginnings of a game that we were hoping it was going to be, Draskell.
Lots of action here, and not really much help for the Shadow Fiend. I feel like Alliance, if they rotate any of their heroes to help out Pycat, they're just going to lose their top lane because of the Lich being there. The one saving grace, I guess, is Bulldog is already off to a pretty decent start, and if he's in the lane, he actually does fairly well against the Earthshaker, but every time he teleports, it means that Funnick's going to be getting some farm, so there's a lot of trades being made here in the early game, and I would still say that maybe Na'Vi have a slight edge. They just need to ensure that they don't lose top. That's the one thing that cannot go wrong for them.
I mean, the farm for Vorst so far doing very well. 16 CS in this lane. The aggressive tri-lane arguably not being able to do maybe as much as they hoped that it would in the start for Alliance.
I think they were maybe expecting 2-1-2, and then they just kind of forgot that Lich just auto-wins you a lane, which is really frustrating against a tri-lane that kind of wants to commit for kills. And they've even gone as far as to just completely abandon the tri-lane idea entirely and just bring Magicka to mid just to make sure that Pycat doesn't die. But again, when that happens, you run the risk of just losing more heroes.
Okay, he could be in trouble as Avors coming in with a rocket barrage. It's Saneko, they're holding back Loda so we can't get involved, but here comes Bulldog. He's going to be able to help them find the return kill onto the gyrocopter, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 here in this top lane. Avors trading his life for his support, arguably something that Na'Vi aren't going to be too happy with.
Yeah, that wasn't in the end the right call. And maybe, I don't know, Prophet is one of those heroes that you kind of have to be used to playing against. Like just being able to throw in another hero into every single engagement. It's just, it cannot be underestimated, especially when it's Bulldog's Prophet.
Indeed, I think Bulldog, he's been involved in all 3 kills so far. Mid lane, Dendi there with a straight up Sonic Wave, bringing down Pycat. There will be the air spike in the Hex. Magicka does find a return kill. But nonetheless, I don't know, more kills under the belt of Dendi as he continues to dominate the top lane. The mid lane. Top lane though, Loda getting lifted back here. Avors with the rocket barrage, with the right click, should be able to find Loda. Loda, he's getting bowled up. It's not enough as a Fade Bolt comes in and finishes him off. Avors getting trapped up in the trees as Bulldog's trying to find some return action, but it isn't going to happen. And now Na'Vi, they do begin to break away in terms of kills. A little kind of 2-for-1 engagement there. The Alliance, they lose Pycat, they lose Loda, and Na'Vi, they only lose Dendi.
Now the Shaker is free farming though, which is kind of problematic. Like, you don't want the Earthshaker to just have a free lane. He's already level 6.
Oh, Loda and Ake, they've turned up into the lane. He does have 6 indeed, but the Nature's Wrath throwing through as well, bringing him so darn low. He has got the bottle, trying to pull himself up and through the tree line. Can Funnick make the plays happen? He's trying to juke this one out. Ake is in front of him. There's your Echo Slam. Tries to follow it up, but it's not there in time. Dazzle with the heal, bringing down Funnick.
If only he had level 2 Aftershock, he might have been able to kill there. Because level 1 Aftershock doesn't stun for very long at all. It's like a little bit more than a half a second. He might have been able to get the enchant to get the kill on Ake at least before he died. So very close, almost turned that one around, but not quite.
5 for 5 at the moment. In terms of CS, the farm looking very good for Na'Vi. Avors 31 at the moment, Dendi 27. The closest behind that is Bulldog on the side of Alliance, 26 CS. And then, I mean, Pycat obviously didn't have a great time in the mid lane. Look at the amount of denies that Dendi's had as well. That mid lane has gone very well for the Quap. And, you know, we talk about the fact that SF should still be able to farm it, but I guess when you play up against a Quap, on top lane, Bulldog, he tries to TP out, but the Fisher's there to cancel it. Avors with a rocket barrage. They will be able to bring down the Rat.
That was a really nice pick there from Na'Vi, and every time somebody moves around the map, you're just sacrificing farm at this point for either team. So when you gank like that,
Dendi, he might find Pycat indeed. He finds the dagger onto him. He's not going to blink forward. He's a little bit scared of the line.
There's still a Hex,
well.
yeah, so he can't go forward. A level 1 Hex is still 2.5 seconds to disable, and that's a little bit too much for him to feel comfortable diving, so definitely understand that choice. But smoke here from Na'Vi.
Indeed, both Funnick and Saneko making the rotation here. In the jungle at the moment, it is Pycat. Of course, they know that he's here as a Shadow Fiend. This is where he's going to be going. In comes the Nature's Wrath. It will burst down Saneko, but with the control from Funnick, one more slap will do it, as they do bring Pycat down here. They did lose Lich on the bottom lane, though, to the aggression of Loda and Bulldog.
Yeah, but losing your Shadow Fiend in trade for a Lich, I think Na'Vi are going to be okay with that. They could be getting caught out here.
Magicka and Ake trying to trap up both Saneko and Glibasha. There's going to be the poison touch onto Glibasha, and Saneko getting stunned up, hexed up. He'll go down. Dendi blinking forward. Sonic Wave is only going to connect onto Ake. There's the scream onto 2. Lion will go down. Loda, he might find Funnick in return with the slaps. Will bring down Funnick, and Ake is hiding in the trees, but Dendi will find him. Double kill now for Dendi, but in comes Pycat. There's the back of a Loda as well. He's got a blink in a second. Dendi should be okay here, and he will indeed be able to get out. Maybe he wants to go back in here. He's hanging about. He's got his bottle back on him. He could continue the aggression, as he's just going to chill around here on the sidelines and throw in potential. No, he's just going to back himself up. But well, Dendi with a double kill there, and the fact that this Quap, 5 kills, 1 assist, 8 minutes in.
Dendi's a player, man. I mean, he killed the Shadow Fiend at what, level 3, I think it was? And I think it was just Pycat maybe misjudging when the Queen was actually going to hit level 3, so he got level 2 dagger, and then that's just too much to deal with, and he got blinked on. And bottom, they want the Rat, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find Bulldog. They don't really have a good initiator just yet, but with a Shaker, they might be able to do this.
Mid lane, Dendi going deep onto Ake. There is Pycat here as well, so maybe Dendi, playing a little too aggressive, will be able to blink out. He knows what he's doing, and he'll just TP straight back home. The damage over time from the poison not going to be enough. Top lane, Loda, Magicka, and Bulldog, they went in, and they went in hard, and they find the kill onto Vorst.
More importantly, Loda now has the split up. Like, he's level 7, so whenever they want to try to take a team engagement with that kind of utility, I think Alliance should probably come out on top, unless for some reason the Brew gets caught out and dies before he's able to pop his ult. Against Navi's team, I guess it's possible, but you'd kind of have to echo him, like throw everything at him to be able to burst him before that happens. So maybe Alliance looking to try to play around their Brew here a little bit. At the very least, get Loda a blink, which he is very close to.
Gonna be Hex in the mid lane onto Dandy, trying to stop him from chasing down the Lion. Fisher from Funnick catching out Ake, but Pycat's there to back Ake up, and Funnick's got to get himself out of here. He's got Art Style in the nearby as well, so he should be okay. There's Bulldog TPing in. He's thinking about the Sprout, but now Funnick's been able to create the distance between them, and he'll be fine for the moment.
He's got Quelling Blade anyway, so even if they had thrown out a Sprout, it would have actually more than likely blocked Alliance more than it would have trapped Funnick in, so... He is living life on the edge, though, man. He's got a ward on the high ground, so he sees everything that's going on, but he's still, like, very aggressively positioned.
He's going to back towards mid, where we'll find a reunion with both Funnick and, both Quap and Artstar sitting around the tier 1 in the mid lane. But farm-wise, still top of the net worth. You've got Dendy, followed up by Loda. Loda, does he have his blink complete now? We did see him, oh, hang on, mid lane. There's a Sonic Wave. There's going to be a very clutch Shallow Grave, keeping Magicka alive. The ultimate from Dazzle catching all of Dendy, Artstar, and Funnick, maybe making them think twice before they want to go in again. Loda will find himself the rune at the top of Loda. There's a lot of heroes surrounding you. He has got the Primal Split. They're trying to control him so he can't get off the ultimate, and he won't be able to get off the ultimate. He does go down there, Na'Vi with the control to bring down the Brewmaster.
I think he may have had time to split after that Chain Frost came off. Like, he walked a little bit instead of going for the split animation, but they did nerf it some time ago, so the animation itself is a bit longer. Bulldog gets the last hit on the bottom tier 1 tower, so Artstyle not able to get that deny, but still picking off the Brew, especially when he would have had his blink timing, like right now, basically, instead. Like, he'll have it when he's alive, so it's not a huge loss, but him not being able to get the split off and turn the fight around for Alliance is a pretty big deal.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And there we go, that is your blink. He TP's up to the top lane. He's going to look to jump in straight away onto her Force, but a Force with a Rocket Barrage, and there's the backup of Seneko. Cooldown as well. Loda does manage to get off the split, though, this time. He throws the bolt onto her Force. They'll bring down her Force on the Gyrocopter. Now he holds the Rubik in place, but Rubik will almost certainly go down here as well. Seneko to fall also. Dazzle was also able to deny the tower there. 2 heroes going down in the top lane. Lich went down also in the bottom lane, by looks of it, to, I can guess, a finger from Magicka.
He is so high level and overfarmed. Like, he's level 8 at 11 minutes on support Lion, who was walking around the map, and then he's got 1,500 gold at 11 minutes in. Like, he is completely overfarmed for this stage in the game. If he manages to get like a blink hex against these heroes, it's going to be very difficult for Na'Vi. Like, you blink in, you hex out the Rubik or the Shaker, for example, and you don't have that many disables left. And then the Brewmaster could pretty much freely split in any engagement, and then Alliance also have the Nature's Prophet as well, who's going to be able to just force pressure everywhere. Now, Na'Vi do have the luxury of having 2 heroes who can initiate on the Prophet. Like, later in the game, you're going to have Shaker, who will have Blink, and then you're going to have Queen, who can pretty much always blink onto just a Prophet if the Prophet's alone. So there are some counterplays, but I think Alliance, for the most part, they're still doing pretty solid here in this early game.
Indeed, and well, Bulldog on the Prophet. He's got his first Oblivion Staff at 1k gold as well, so I mean, if the game continues as it has been for him, he should have a pretty decent timing on the Orchid, and that's going to make these rotations in the ganks that more effective from the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, Orchid's huge against Queen, against Rubik, Shaker. There's so many good heroes to just cast Orchid on, and you follow it up with like any kind of disable, even a Sprout. If the person doesn't have any Tangos or a Quelling Blade, it's just like you punch him to death. And like you said, he already has a tread, so he hits quite hard. And even Havos picked up a Quelling Blade. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to have to deal with that Sprout all game. I'm over it. I'm just going to make sure I can always escape. And that's just respect to the Nature's Prophet player, right? Like, sometimes some ranged heroes buy Quelling Blades just because it's a nuisance, but Bulldog is definitely somebody you want to buy it against.
Yeah, I mean, so far Bulldog's been involved in what, about 8 of the kills. I believe he's got 1 kill and 7 assists so far on the Nature's Prophet. I mean, let's talk about Pycat. His game so far hasn't been too brilliant. He's been ganked a lot, has died 4 times already on the Shadow Fiend.
Well, it's Queen versus Shadow Fiend. Like, a good Queen will just get a good timing on her level 3, blink forward and kill, which is pretty much exactly what Dendy did. So if you get good denies on the first like 4 or 5 creep waves, you always hit level 3 before the Shadow Fiend because his base damage is so low, right? So he can't actually like CS over you. and you abuse the fact to get more denies in that matchup than the Shadow Fiend to secure your level 3 before his, which means that his raise, instead of hitting for like double the damage, is only going to be hitting for 100. And if you blink close proximity, he has low base damage, only one raise he can hit you with, you commit to the kill. And after getting that advantage, Dendy just continued to snowball. And looks like we're having some lag issues again, so hopefully the stream's not down. But yeah, it's not been a smooth day.
It hasn't. It hasn't. But
Yeah.
we're getting through it, and then we've got good games. We've got very good teams as well playing here today.
Dire's top tower is under
So,
attack.
well, looks like Dire's top tower is apparently under attack, but, well, we wouldn't know that because we're still a few frames before that. A bit of action actually happened there. And what's going on? Well, Funnic's actually pretty close to his Blink Dagger with the amount of money
Yeah,
he's
but he
got.
was left pretty much alone in
Yeah.
his lane. He looks like he could be getting picked off here, or he's going for a TP. Does he make it, or does he
He's
die?
dead. He's dead on my screen.
Oh, wow, he
We got
is.
to-
Okay,
yeah.
you're ahead of me. Cheater.
Oh, we're back. We're back. So Funnic
right.
died, which was, as you said, quite a big pick-off because he had a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah, he was, what, 1,800 gold? Something like that when he
Yeah,
died?
he's lost a good 200 there.
Yeah. He's even opted to skip his soul ring entirely and just go straight for the blink, because he bought the recipe early on. And I don't even know if you need soul ring with enchant build if you already have bottle. Maybe he just opted out of it because Bulldog was TPing so much to top lane and mid was already winning that he just felt he could always secure the bottom rune, so he just gets a bottle instead of finishing
boy.
his
I
soul
think
ring.
Bulldog must have got that kill as well onto Funnic, so
Yeah, he's also
he is
rich.
very, very close. Yeah, he didn't need to the Orchid.
Yeah.
Very close.
And the thing about Alliance's lineup is they actually have the heroes who can create the space for the Shadow Fiend, and they also have a 13-minute support
on
Blink
Mad.
Lion. Yeah, their supports are just completely overfarmed right now. Like, Ake always plays the position 6, as people like to joke, because he always just buys everything for his team. But even he has Urn and Boots, so it's not like he's totally broke. And he's also level 8 almost. Like, I don't know, man. This is seeming pretty good for Alliance.
I guess at the same time, Dendy and Horvorst, the farm's certainly there. Dendy's been having
Yeah.
a fantastic time in the mid lane. At the same time, Horvorst, he's been finding a lot as well himself. Face boots, Aquila, Yasha, complete. Will back himself off now as he is pretty damn low indeed. Mid lane, Magicka revealing the blink, going straight onto Dendy. They won't actually have the follow control. Dendy getting very low. Throw down the Sonic
Wow.
Wave in return. Brings down Mana, brings Pike out very low. Dendy, he's able to keep himself alive. Doesn't look like they'll find anything else here, but, well, their first initiation there with a blink from Magicka, not going exactly how Alliance planned it to.
He didn't get his ulti off. I think he was really scared of getting fingers stolen or something, because it almost seemed like he hesitated, or either that or Sonico was just too fast on the lift. Either way, now Sonico level 8 himself. He's got his Urn and his Arcanes, and also has Impale stolen, which is fantastic. Or Earth Spike, excuse me. They're both Impales. Like, they're the same freaking spell, except one can be targeted and the other can't. But yeah, I mean, either team still can take this. It's a very close game. I just really liked the way that Alliance had started things off, having such a nice timing on their support, getting Blink Dagger, and the fact that Bulldog has been everywhere. Like, just standard Bulldog play, making sure that he can help his team win the lanes. And with Brewmaster split, like, we've only seen one split at 15 minutes in.
Ooh, Bulldog is going to walk into Funnic, or is Funnic walking into Bulldog here as well? Funnic
Oh.
gives him a little bit of a fissure, just a friendly fissure.
Dire's
He actually
top
could have killed him, I
tower
think,
is
if the
under
fissure was on the other side. I think he only backed because he didn't pin him between the trees. Because if he had gotten him in that path, you can just walk in with, he has a quelling too. So Bulldog not having had the Orchid at that point, he could have enchanted, hit him and echoed, and he would have died. But fissure was a bit off the mark.
We're seeing Loader on the Brew working towards his Aghanim Scepter. He's got himself a point booster so far
Yep.
on the way towards that, and 1,200 gold in the bank as well. And Dendy on the Quap going for that straight up blink, straight up BKB.
You need it. He saw Bulldog's item progression and they already have a Lion, and he's like, okay, well, I'm against an Orchid and I'm against a Lion with a Blink. If I don't have BKB, I can very easily get focused in these team fights. But with this item, he can go in, get his burst, and then just get out of the fight if he needs to. Like, between the Gyrocopter and the Queen and a Blink Shaker also potentially soon, Navi's Power Spike is going to be pretty huge. And yeah, Funnic does have Blink, so BKB timing now, it could be a smoke actually from Navi, as they've just gotten a lot of really core items and they could just look to take a straight up fight.
Indeed, Funnic and art style here. Now Seneko Dendy joining it as well for this 4-man smoke rotation here. Where they're going to head for. They're heading around, so they're going to ward up. They do have at the moment Gyro as well in the nearby. Horse just continues to find the farm, maybe hoping that Gyro of Horse would have worked as a bait. There's not really any kind of reaction coming out from Alliance. Alliance themselves, just Pycat near at the moment. There, I'm going to see them start to move towards this bottom lane Alliance. And maybe, yeah, Na'Vi just hoping that Horst is drawing them in here with the fact that he's free farming in the lane. And it seems to be working. Alliance, they're looking, oh, they're going to jump straight away onto Artstyle. And maybe if they can pick off the Lich as the start of this fight, they can there with the Dazzle. Being able to pick that one off, that's maybe going to be enough to scare Na'Vi off, and well, that's not the kind of action Na'Vi were looking for.
A good evasive play by Alliance, not getting caught out by the smoke. I mean, they didn't have any wards either, so that was just pure intuition.
Oh, Dandy trying to turn back into this one here with the dagger onto Magicka. Pops the BKB straight away, but the heals from Akka are going to be there. Sonic Wave will clip him. I guess Dazzle just
mid-animation.
Not anticipating the fact that...
No, he did. He knew it was coming. He just didn't want to grave early, so he waited until the ulti actually was cast to try to grave, and it was just not fast enough. That was very, very close. He was trying to actually bait the ulti, I think. Just maybe baited it a bit too hard.
Bulldog, still looking very scary. Orchid, 1,200 gold as well on top of it. But Dandy's going to be a little bit harder to catch up, as we're saying. Oh, bottom lane, bottom room. They're going to go in here. Loader onto Seneca. There's a TP in from Bulldog. There's your Orchid as well. Amplify the damage, but a nice Fisher holding back Loader from the high ground. Arcade trying to get the right clicks, and one more will do it. They do bring down Seneca, Horse with a cooldown onto Bulldog, but it doesn't look like Na'Vi want to continue to fight this, as Alliance have already come out on top of that little engagement. Pycat now with the mech complete.
You know, if that was an Aloha Dancer Bic, he would have drunken hazed the Dazzle on the high ground because he had it stolen and then TP'd. Would have been sick. And then it's still like kind of luck if you get out because it's only 45% mischance, I think, at level 1. Would have been cool to see, but I understand that situation. Maybe just thinking you were safe because I don't think he saw the Dazzle until the first hit anyway. But Roshan now being taken here by Alliance. Na'Vi kind of close by. Don't think they'll try to contest this without the Rubik. And after it having died, I think they just run.
From Magicka. He's going to find the stun onto Artstyle, but Artstyle's on the high ground. Funnicky is hanging around as well. And do Alliance want to try and fight into this? That is the question. And would be doing so without any vision on the high ground at all, so they do back themselves up.
Yeah. Magicka didn't even notice his stun landed.
No.
Like maybe he guessed that it landed, but still everyone quite far away.
Loader linking in onto Dendy. Seneca's going to be there with the lift and holding him back. Dendy with the haste streak. Now Bulldog comes in for the push, trying to make something happen here on this tier 1 in the mid lane. But Na'Vi, they're coming out in full force. Everybody's here for the defense, and Horse will just quickly clean up those treants.
I gotta say, Loda's been really on point with not getting anything good stolen. Like, he's just leaving his Drunken Haze at level 1, and Sonico has not been able to steal anything but level 1 Drunken Haze. He hasn't been able to get Split, hasn't been able to get Thunderclap. He just always gets the worst spell, which, I mean, yeah, you should know that, but it's still nice to see that he hasn't been able to get any big steals this game, if you're an Alliance fan at least.
Well, I mean, what's the plan of action for both of these teams? Is there anyone that kind of feels that they need to up their game at this point, or both kind of comfortable taking it to the later portions?
Well, I gotta say, the Shadow Fiend still needs a little bit more time to recover. He's only got mech, it's like 20 minutes in. He probably wants BKB before he feels super safe in these team fights, or maybe he goes back for like a SMY or something like that. But he is built completely different from the previous matches we saw him, where he went Shadowblade, I believe it was, into Lincoln's when he was playing against Empire in the game that was never finished. Could be like the title of a movie or something. But yeah, I think he still needs some time.
Na'Vi, they're all here. Funnicky's got the Echo Slam available. Alliance have to be careful with how far they come in. Pycat trying to clear out the treants. Funnick looking to see, waiting for that perfect time to jump in, but Magicka's already jumped in on him. Maybe Funnick waited a little bit too long with the Nature's Wrath and the finger. He does go down, so indeed, Funnick just looking for that opportunity to jump in, but Alliance, they're already on top of it.
Ake's positioning was too good. Like, he couldn't find an opening to go on Pycat with Aegis and also having Shallow Grave. So instead of being able to jump, he just had to stand there. As soon as the tower dies, you're out of position, you're dead.
Oh, blink forward from Loader, getting the clap onto Seneca. Now Magicka comes in, but Magicka taking a full rocket barrage and a sonic wave to the face. Lich has thrown the ult out. It's bouncing between them all, but between the primal splits. And with that immunity, it doesn't matter. It does bounce back over to Pycat. Pycat says, Loader, can you step away, please? 2 for 2 so far. Horse getting caught out here by the stun, but it doesn't look like the side of Alliance can follow this one down. They're going to chase down the Earth Spirit. Maybe they kill Loader here. He's been left alone, and he's going to go down here. He pops down the clap, but it's not enough to stop Dendy picking up that kill. Mega kill streak for the Quap, and I can't help a feeling that Alliance may be going a little bit too aggressive there unnecessarily.
Yeah, it was a bit ham as soon as they got the Rubik. I mean, things were looking kind of good for a while, but Na'Vi did a really good job at kiting out the split. So by the time they get 1 kill, the split is pretty much over, and they only took down a Rubik. And then the person with the Aegis is not really committed to the fight anymore. Like, Pycat started running away. They're like, yeah, this is overcommitment. Our Dazzle died immediately to Dendi's burst. It's just a really nice turn from Na'Vi.
Smoke up from both Funnick and Rubik. Of Austenhart start here on the high ground. There's a push coming in from Pycat in the mid lane. Pycat, he's just going straight in. He is not scared one bit of this Gyro and Lich combination. There's a bit of a wraparound in the Radiant jungle coming out from Seneko and Funnick continuously. And he does, of course, have that Echo Slam, which he didn't get the opportunity to use in the last fight. Alliance, they're moving in pretty deep in the mid lane. They're going to be missing Dendi on the quad. Funnick coming around with the wraparound. Procs the enchant totem, looking for a jump. Alliance, they are kind of grouped up, but Loader, he blinks back, and well, Funnick blinks himself away. Seneko holding back the Brewmaster here. That isn't going to be the start of this fight. He will get himself back up. Havorce dropping the cooldown straight onto Pycat now. A Fisher holding Pycat under it. Blink forward from Dendi trying to go in onto the Shadow Fiend. Shallow Grave will keep him alive. They've lost Rubik in the sidelines. Pycat's still alive here with the Shallow Grave, but surely he's going to go down. But he will, but he's got the Aegis. Havorce, he's very low. He's having to run away. Arsdal throwing the blast here, trying to slow Loader down. Magica nearly finding Funnick, but Funnick's able to blink himself up to the high ground there. They lose the Rubik and Delights. They only lose the Aegis on Pycat.
Still another really nice fight from Alliance, like getting the tier 2, being able to just go right into the tier 2 top lane as well. It's going to take too long for Na'Vi to heal up their Gyro, so they can't even defend this anymore. And Shadow Fiend sacrifices his Aegis. Oh, does he want the Echo?
Oh, Magica with these plays, blinking forward with the Hex onto Dendi, following up with the
Orchid!
And the Orchid onto Funnick. Funnick can't do anything. There's going to be the Requiem onto both of them. Dendi will be able to blink away. Magica getting low, but the mech, the Shallow Graves there, he's just going to TP himself out, and he will be able to escape. Blink forward from Loader, catching them all in the cloud. Havorce trying to turn around here with a Rocket Barrage. Seneko throws out a Fade Pop, but Loader with his Haste Rune, he's just zipping around them all. Too fast, too furious, but they get the Funnick, and as you said, very clutch Orchid use there from Bulldog.
Bulldog, I think, saw the TP coming in, and when Funnick walked in to try to get some kind of Echo going, he just never had the opportunity. I gotta say, man, I was really worried for Alliance that this Shaker would have a really big impact, because Bulldog wasn't in the lane a lot of the time, like he was ganking. So it just meant that Funnick was able to farm maybe a lot faster than Alliance wanted him to, but they're doing a really, really good job of making sure he never has an opportunity to go. Like, between these heroes, it's 4 ranged heroes and a Brew. How are you ever going to get a good Echo against that? Like, all of them are positioned so well during the fights, and Ake is never really in the front. So the only way you can catch him is if you, like, I don't know, solo Echo the Dazzle or something just to kill him for no grave. And it feels like almost a waste, but maybe Na'Vi kind of have to resort to that kind of maneuver right now, because just Ake being there is making Funnick not go in.
Blink forward from Dendi here with the dagger onto Ake. Havorce coming in as well with the Rocket Barrage. Ake's going to try and walk this one off, but a cooldown's going to be there to secure the kill. Dendi actually finding it with the final tick of poison. They do manage to bring down Dazzle, and all things said and done, Dendi still having a very good game. And of course, at the moment, on an unstoppable kill streak here on this Queen of Pain at 9 for 1.
Is he actually going back for a Glimmer Cape, or I wonder why he's actually
picked up the
a lot of money,
hasn't he, this guy?
Yeah, I think he probably just goes Hex. Hex is amazing with BKB. Like, your initiation potential is crazy.
Funnick caught out by the Nature's Rat, and of course the help there as well from Magica. And I mean, Magica, he did get a very early blink, but he's been making a lot of magic happen with it.
There's a lot of pressure on Na'Vi right now because Alliance's team has such better picking potential. Like, being able to globally teleport, of course, with an Orchid means that the Shaker and I guess the Gyro and Queen, they can escape the ganks, but if you're Rubik or you're Lich, you kind of just instantly die. And if the Lion's there, you're dead no matter what. Like, you just get Hex and the Orchid, and finger off cooldown means that you just have no way of living. So their team is great at being able to pressure a map that they control, which right now they obviously do. It's kind of the same feeling that a Beastmaster can give you, is being able to have a lot of vision and just knowing what's going on, because the lanes are always pushed out. So instead of you needing wards, you just see them leave the base, or you can see them positioned outside of their base because they always have to push the waves that are coming in. But Alliance doing a fantastic job of utilizing the draft here.
Ake picking up a Solar Crest, and Bulldog now with a level 3 Necro Book. Dendi picks up a Void Stone, so it does indeed look like, as you said, going for that Cypher Vice.
Yeah, he kind of needs it. Like, Orchid's okay, but being able to blink in, Hex straight away, go for the Dazzle maybe. I think that honestly has to be his target.
Blink forward from Magica, yeah, with the Hex straight up. They're going to follow it up with the Earth Spike, and now Bulldog coming in with the Orchid, but there's a blink forward. Funnick with the Echo Slam will bring down the line. Bulldog just trying to TP out through the tree line. He'll make it. There's nothing to stop it. And now Loader with the Primal Split, looking to continue the fight with the rocks throwing down onto Funnick, holding him up in the air, but he'll come down, and he will go down as well. Earthshaker for Lion. A trade, again, that the side of Alliance will be happy with.
I think solo echoing is kind of necessary for them at this point, though. They just need to get kills. Oh, they're going to find Ake here. He does have Grave.
Yeah, he does indeed. And then with the double damage, going to certainly bring him low. Suneiko's there to be able to cancel a TP if Ake was going to hope for some kind of play, but one final touch there from the Rubik brings him down. And mid lane, the Rat getting caught out here by Vorse, trying to go in, pops the BKB, really wants the Rat dead, and he will get him. Vorse bringing down Admiral Bulldog. Now Denzi moving in onto Pycat. Pycat pops the BKB, tries to turn around with one race, but the stolen shallow grave from Suneiko, ensuring that there was no chance that Dendi was going to fall here. And, well, BKB baited.
I thought he would actually just steal Requiem when he saw it used. Because I think when you steal Requiem on Rubik, you just get the max souls like every single time. So would have been really cool to see him get that. But still, making sure that he's going to save Dendi, also not a terrible play. And I think Sonico is actually going to be going for the Glimmer Cape, which is really good. That was a really over-aggressive play, though, from Alliance. Like, Ake, I think he wanted to ward. Yeah, he had wards on him, so he definitely wanted to try to do some aggressive warding there. But he was unsuccessful, and it kind of baited his team into a bad situation to begin with. And unfortunately, Bulldog also got picked off. So nice little swing there for Na'Vi. But I still feel like Alliance's lineup functioned better with the kind of map control that they'll be able to get. And the Na'Vi still needs some time. Like this Gyro, now with his BKB up, he needs to work his way to a damage item. Because Shadow Fiend still does quite a bit of damage. And Gyrocopter now, once he gets maybe like an MKB, I think Na'Vi's team fight potential could be getting to the point where Alliance have to be a little bit concerned.
With this very nice stack of Ancients here for Vorst. He's going to be well on his way to the MKB. Demon Edge already in his inventory. Roshan is up. And maybe this is going to be the next point of contention between the two sides. They're going to send the Treants in, one of them up to the high ground to just scout out the positioning here of Na'Vi and Alliance there. They're just trying to recce out the area, the situation, just make sure it's safe for them to go in. They're going to go for it. Loader leading in, Pycat heading in as well with the punches. Heartstyle on the high ground, trying to get rid of the vision here from the Radiant, but Bleakford Echo Slam onto Loader, and Pycat, the mech is out. Sonic Wave catches them both. Pycat's been hexed up by Dendi. Dendi's popped the BKB, but it's taking a fair bit of right click from Admiral Bulldog, but Admiral Bulldog will go down into Rocket Barrage. They've lost the Dazzle, they've lost the Bulldog, they've lost the Lion. They've only managed to take down the Earthshake. It's a triple kill here for her Vorse. He's absolutely cleaning them up, and now it's just Loader trying to retreat here. Vorse will try and chase him down. Dendi blicks forward. It might be an ultra kill here for Vorse. He's trying to go in on Loader. He has been Drunken Haze, but the Rocket Barrage will be enough to bring him down. Dendi will pick that one up, but it's a full team wipe against the side of Alliance and Na'Vi. They only lose Funnick, and well, Funnick, yeah, you've got to admit, his play started that off, so hats off to the Earthshaker.
I mean, the Hex there was huge from the Queen of Pain. I mean, Bulldog almost won them the fight just by orchiding Funnick before he was able to throw out a fissure, because he only got an Echo out.
Yeah.
Like, he echoed the two inside of the pit, he got immediately Orchid after that, wasn't able to get any stun out on anyone, and then at that point, because the split went off, I thought Alliance were going to do really well, but Pycat just dropped so fast, Ake had to use his Grave straight away. They didn't even use Nature's Wrath. Like, Bulldog didn't get an ulti off. If you saw the end of the fight, how low everyone was, if that ulti had gone off and got some good bounces, it might have just totally equalized the playing field. But unfortunately, he didn't have the time, as I think he died before BKBs ran out, so he wasn't able to deal any damage with it. Really nice turnaround from Na'Vi, though. They needed that fight very, very badly, and in the end, it seems like Na'Vi's 5-man just a little bit better than Alliance's, especially in these enclosed spaces. When you have Chain Frost, when you have Call Down, Queen ulti as well, there's just so much damage they have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, just after that fight, you know, we've seen Vorse go straight up to having an MKB, having the Aegis, and having 2.7k gold on the guy. And what's he brought up now is that the lifesteal as well. So suddenly, Gyro, look how much money he's got as well, 17,500 against the highest on the side of Alliance, which is the 13k on your Bulldog.
Yeah, his farm's going to get out of control now. He's just been left alone, I guess, for a little bit too long. But the Roshan fight is really the biggest deal so far, is like, when they got echoed, the Shadow Fiend was already like at half HP, just from the Echo. So him having to BKB at like 60% health, even with a mech and a Dazzle Grave, like he never was really able to come back into the fight. He couldn't do anything big. Like he couldn't get a nice Requiem. He kind of just like stood there and had to auto attack. So I don't know. It wasn't really the greatest of engagements for Alliance, and it's gonna hurt him, because now Na'Vi are feeling fairly confident here walking down middle lane.
Indeed, Bulldog and Magicka trying to rat it out here on the top lane, but the pressure is indeed coming from Na'Vi here in the mid. He's hanging around here, waiting for the creep wave and waiting to go in again potentially. just kind of checking it out, but as I guess, as you said, Na'Vi feeling very comfortable and feeling that they don't really need to pressure anything. I mean, if anything, the biggest threat at the moment from Alliance is the rat potential from the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, the thing is, though, like, Bulldog had really good farm a little while ago, and he's even opted to go for the Blink Dagger, so he is going for more of the, not passive play, but just idly push out the lanes, because he realizes that fighting 5 versus 5 against Na'Vi, even with the Brewmaster having an Aghanim soon, it seems a little bit too hard right now. Like, they have too many BKBs, the Brewmaster doesn't really feel as potent as he was before, and it's just getting to a stage where a couple of their heroes are just straight up falling off. Like, unless they find an opening, like, they need to engage with the Lion, get a nice Hex, kill somebody straight up and try to take the fight that way.
Lane, blink forward with the air spike into the finger, and then the Hex and the Orchid onto Funnick. Every game thrown down, but Dendy comes in with the Glimmer Cape. Funnick just walks it off. Bulldog tries to TP away. He won't make it. He will go down here. Again, Na'Vi just outplaying the intentions of Alliance there.
Glimmer boys. What an item. There was no way Dendy was living, or excuse me, no way Funnick was living there if Dendy didn't Glimmer Cape him. Like 100% dead otherwise. And we can now see the strength of the item, especially on a hero who's so mobile. Like, you can just blink in from 1300 range, and then the cast range of Glimmer Cape is also like insane. So we're having some more lag issues here, but still, anyone's game. I do kind of favor Na'Vi though, just because it's going to be hard for Bulldog to do a lot of ratting on his own when there's a Blink Hex Queen on the other team, and also a Shaker with a Blink, and Rubik, he went for a Glimmer Cape as well. So they have multiple avenues of engaging on him, right? Like, the Queen can Glimmer Cape into position, blink forward, go for an immediate Hex, and they can just kill him that way. The Rubik can Glimmer in. There's a lot of uses of the item.
We just getting a little bit of a lag here, unfortunately, but no one's died. You've not missed anything too major so yet, so don't you worry, boys. Top lane, Dendy just pushing out, and bottom lane, Na'Vi, the 4-man, heading into the Radiant jungle here. But at the same time, Alliance, they are about out towards the mid lane. Havorst leading the way with the double damage. Wants to try and get some pressure onto this tier 2 on the bottom lane and see what they can do in terms of tower damage. And here we go, Havorst obviously hitting very hard with the MKB and still with the usage of the double damage. Should be able to find this tower. The fortification will come out from the side of Alliance. Top lane, they're looking potentially to go on to Dendy here. Blink forward from Magicka, finds the Hex. There's your Orchid. They're going to need to stun him as well to make sure he can't get that BKB out the finger. Everything is enough, only just though to burst down Dendy.
They also get the gem off of him, which is huge. Like, that pick is very important. Like, getting somebody as important as Dendy off the mat for a while. They do lose their tier 2, but I still think it's okay. I don't think fighting into Na'Vi is what Alliance want to do. Na'Vi's 5-man is so strong. Like, normally a team with the Brewmaster with Aghanims and Blink, you're like, yeah, this team should win the fight. But all the important heroes of Na'Vi have BKB. So Dendy and the Gyro both having BKB means a couple of flat cannon shots pretty much kill the Lion at this point. Like, Magicka, he's got 800 health. Like, 4 or 5 flat cannon shots kill him, just straight up. So he has to be very careful about his positioning. And just in general, like, Havorst is just out farming everyone. Even Pycat doesn't really have that. Like, he's got okay farm.
Havorst getting caught out by a Hex. Blink forward from Loader here with the clap, but he's going to get held back by the telekinesis. Now your BKB's pop home for Havorst. Pops down the cooldown, trying to chase down Magicka. Won't be able to do it, backs himself out, and now they're going to go on to Loader, but Loader with the primal split. Taneko goes down here. Na'Vi, they're down one. They're still missing Dendy, of course, from that engagement on the top lane. They might lose Havorst here as well. That's going to be a double kill here for Bulldog. Holding Artstyle in place as well. He will fall as well. 3 heroes falling down in that engagement. Finally, Dendy comes back to the map, but...
Wait, did he just get a Daedalus during that fight? He did, didn't he? Yeah. The Shadow Fiend did not have a Daedalus before that started, but I think the Courier brought it to him, like, right when the engagement kicked off. So, really nice turn again from Alliance, making sure that they don't take a direct 5-man. Like, that's the most important thing for their lineup, is they're never really engaging into everyone at the same time. They're just getting picks, and that's exactly how they need to play this to win.
And here comes the push up onto the high ground, on towards the tier 3. Na'Vi still down 3 heroes. They're going to buy back here on the Havorst Gyrocopter. And that might be enough to spook Alliance back for the time being.
Yeah, I think it should be. Like, pushing right now is still pretty darn dangerous, especially considering, well, the Roshan clock for me is broken. I don't know about everyone else, but oh, it works for Webos. That's good.
Yeah, it works for me.
So it's only a couple minutes until it's going to be up again, and I would imagine that's going to be the next point of contention. Maybe they try to push in the tier 2 bottom lane if you're Alliance, but everything else, just push out lanes as hard as you can. Make sure you're ratting until Roshan spawns and try to push the enemy team out of position so you can secure rush, or just try to fight them for it.
There's a lot of money here on, of course, the Admiral Bulldog Nature's Prophet. 4.2k gold. What could he be thinking about as his next item after the Bling?
I think he wants a right-click item, actually. Like, even going something like AC isn't too bad. Like, or maybe BKB as well, just to get away. No, he wants more pushing, so he goes for the Maelstrom into Mjolnir, which is still a right-click item, basically. It just helps you push out the waves a little bit better. You can throw out the buff, like the Mjolnir buff on a creep or something, or a tree, and just walk it down a lane, and it pushes the wave out idly without you even having to be there. So it's definitely a good pickup for Prophet.
26 to 25 at the moment, 36 minutes in. Na'Vi grouping up again into the Radiant jungle, but at the same time, Alliance, they're on the other side of the map. They're working on a bit of a push themselves on the top lane. Pycat was trying to find some farm in the mid lane, and Pycat, he is catching up here on this SF. Obviously, we saw him pick up the Daedalus, now with 1900 gold as well. So, I mean, when we get into the late game, though, Gyro versus an SF in terms of right-click damage potential, I guess, I don't know. Can you bring down the Horse Gyro?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Yep.
Like, that's the whole reason you buy Daedalus, is you want to be able to just hit one target really hard. Because you're never going to beat a Gyro in terms of AoE damage, because Flat Cannon's just too good. Oh, Havost, he's just manning up right now.
He's found Loader. He wants to go for some. Pops down the homing missile. There's going to be the Hex there as well from Denny and the Sonic Wave, and Loader just gets blown up, taken out, deleted from the game. Ake with the Shallow Grave trying to run away from the power of Na'Vi, but they hold him in place there. They'll bring him down as well, and Alliance just getting caught out of position.
That was so insane. Like, Avos had no fear. He knew exactly what he was walking into. Just walking through, had the phase boots popped and everything. Found probably one of the best targets that you could ask for. And Ake, unfortunately, not in range to Grave, also ends up giving up his own life. But still, they show they have the power to kill the Brew before split. And that's kind of a scary thing to think about.
It is indeed, especially considering that ship position 1 and Satanic very nearly finished on Horse. He just needs to find that final 600 gold towards the Reaver. And this is a very, very stacked Gyrocopter at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't have the big, like, single target damage, but he has the spread damage. So, like, Flat Cannon and Call Down are his utilities. Like, he just does damage to the supports idly by being there. He also hits Bulldog. He's a bit tankier, but still, over the course of the fight, if you eat every single Flat Cannon shot, he hits for over 300. So if you take all 6 shots, it's going to be like 1,800 damage before mitigation that you're just taking straight up, which is a ton. In comparison to Shadow Fiend, who he Requiems to reduce damage taken most of the time during the end game, because getting a good Requiem point blank is not really that easy. And then you just right-click one person and hope that you crit and kill them straight up. So they function differently. It's just not the same kind of style for Alliance. So they're looking, again, more of the pick and push, pressure the lanes, use their Prophet as much as they can, where Na'Vi, they desperately want the fight. Like, they want the 5-man, but the question is, are Alliance ever going to give it to them?
Bulldog now with a totally complete Mjolnir as well. It's a very even game, arguably. I mean, 39 minutes in, both teams certainly proving that they can come on top of these engagements. And both teams at the moment playing a little bit passive in the sense, you know, they're hanging back, they're looking to get their farm up on their cores. And that certainly is becoming the case. Pycat, did he buy anything with that money he had on top of the day?
No, he's sitting at 3.6k.
3.6k. What do you think he will go for after the Daedalus?
Butterfly is not that good because Gyro already has MKB, but maybe he goes back for Lifesteal? I'm not sure. I think Lifesteal is, with BKB in the late game, like, having a Satanic is one of the best late game items ever, especially when you have Daedalus, because one crit brings you back to like full HP. And sometimes you're going to need that against what the Na'Vi currently have. And they're smoked up here. They are trying to fight around Roche. This is a positioning smoke here. They're going to see that Alliance isn't around. Not yet, anyway.
Roche is up, but there is the Bulldog Treant there. Do they still want to go for it?
Oh.
No, they're going to keep themselves under cover.
That end is rune.
Well, now they're going to go for it. So Alliance, Loader catching this one out, indeed, with the Invis rune. Are you going to go for it, Loader? Who's he going to go for first? He's heading up to the high ground, keeping tabs on
they're
Dendy.
scouting out Dendy.
How can Alliance kind of, capitalize on this and look for some aggression. Bulldog, he's just applying the pressure on the top, ratting it up. Loda's gone in here with the primal split, holding it forced out of the fight. Dendi will TP out with the BKB, will be able to get himself away. They're chasing down Artstyle. Seneko will go for the TP out. Will not. Yes, he will make it. The damage wasn't quite there. They have brought down Artstyle here on the Lich, but Avorst turning up now with the damage onto Pycat. There's going to be the Hex just in time from Magicka onto Avorst. He's not got enough mana for the stun, tries to suck it off. Funnick with the Fisher, though, holding them all in place. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Shadow Fiend for the Lich. Now,
they don't have damage.
He's looking for more. He's trying to find Loda. Loda's just having to turn and run here. He's trying to juke it out. He'll go down for a double kill for Avorst. And now Ake, he could be in trouble. All whilst this is going on, though, Admiral Bulldog, he's applying the rat. Alliance, Ake, he goes down, but they're just creating space. Top lane, goodbye to your ranged racks. Now Artstyle comes in. He offers himself up to the Bulldog God, and Artstyle will fall here. Bulldog happily takes that. Funnick trying to come in. Seneko's there as well, but Bulldog, he's already taken half the top racks, finds a kill as well. Funnick will find the Fisher onto Bulldog. Can they kill him? Echo Slam as well. There's the stolen finger from Seneko, and with that, they do kill the rat, but the rat, of course, has already done some damage.
He got the top range racks, which is okay. Like, given the circumstances, I think he realized the fight around Roshan was already over, but you just saw there, if the Shadow Fiend dies, they have no physical damage at all to kill the Gyro. Like, none. There were 4 heroes there, and it was just Funnick and that Gyro, and they fought and won. Like, Dendi TP'd back at the start, right? And then he's tried to stop Bulldog, he hexed him, forced him away. They continued fighting around Roche. Dendi runs back down bottom, and that's why Bulldog decided to go in on top. But if Bulldog isn't at the fight, they can't right-click down the Gyro. It's impossible. And since there's MKB, even having the Drunken Haze on him does nothing. So it's still very, very scary for Alliance right now. The rat tactic might be their only tactic at this point.
Oh, Magicka on the line, picked up a point boost after the yours. Going to go for that old Aghanim Scepter.
Yep.
It's always a little bit of fun.
It's really nice because the cooldown goes to 20 seconds when you're level 16. And of course, there is always the opportunity for a couple of heroes standing on top of each other. You get a nice ulti that brings them all to like half health at the start. It's always very effective. Or you could just use it to casually push if you're bored. Just throw out a finger or two.
Pycat still stockpiling that gold. Dendi, he picks himself up an E-Blade.
Yeah.
On the quad.
It's really good to save supports and such, or even save yourself. If you ever get like right-clicked and you want to also throw out an E-Blade aggressively if you want to try to go for a kill.
Top lane, here we go. Dendi with the Hex onto Bulldog, the E-Blade as well. Is there enough burst damage? Bulldog's still alive. He's going to be able to Orchid up. Dendi just turns and fights with the Mjolnir. And with the control from Magicka, they will be able to pop down the Aegis. Now they're going to look to TP out. Magicka gets out, so does Bulldog. And they do need to get themselves back to base because the push is coming in. And now Pycat, well, he's trying to take a page out of Bulldog's books, trying to go for a bit of split push, bit of rat himself. And he will get himself up onto the tier 3. He might need to come back and defend this middle lane. While Bulldog says, screw the middle lane, I'm going to join you, Pycat. We're going to look some for action in the base here. Middle lane, the fight's kicking off. Loader with the primal split. Na'Vi have broken the tier 3, but it looks like
Brewlings are dead.
Might have broken Artstyle. Indeed, the Brewlings, all that's left is the Earth one. Is having to run away from Avorst. He might be able to kill Brewmaster through it. There's going to be a very nice stun from the high ground, catching them all out. Top lane, Funnick and Dendi going in will be able to bring down Pycat. Pycat falls there from the push on the bottom lane. And Avorst going in onto Ake. There's going to be telekinesis from Seneko. Rocket Barrage as well brings down your Dazzle. Artstyle, Loda tried to go in onto the Artstyle Lich, but he wasn't able to burst him down. And now Loda, he's on the retreat. Seneko trying to chase this one down. Loda a little bit too speedy. Top lane, Bulldogs continues to rat. Nearly brings Dendi down. Dendi has to blink out. There's going to be a blink in from Funnick as he goes in onto Bulldog. There's your side from Dendi. Dendi will be able to kill the Nature's Prophet. Now back to the mid lane. Avorst and Seneko, they continue to push. Magicka finds the stun onto Avorst. And now the blink 4 from Loda trying to go onto them again. But Avorst, Artstyle and Seneko, they should be able to bring Loda down. He's very low. There's going to be the mech from Pycat keeping him alive. That might be just enough. Loda gets himself out. They've lost the Lich. They've lost Rubik as well as Bulldog finds himself a double kill. And now Avorst, he might be in a bit of trouble. Pops the cheese. Now trying to turn onto Bulldog, but Bulldog, he's running away. Avorst has been sucked up. Loda getting low. Wall walk out of the cooldown. Avorst pops the BKB. He dies. Now Dendi joins to the fight, trying to go onto Magicka. Magicka, he sucks off Dendi and Bulldog will kill him. It's an ultra kill for Bulldog. What the hell is happening, Andy?
Havos is being very stubborn with his BKB. That's what's happening. Like, he probably could have turned at any point with BKB and cheese and just bought enough time for Dendi to actually be there. But instead, he waits a really long time, runs to low ground, gets hexed, and by the time he's able to pop his BKB Satanic, he's too low to recover the health that he's lost, and he just ends up dying. So there is double buyback on the side of Na'Vi. Both Dendi and Havos can come out, but there is no Shaker ulti for about 10 seconds, so there's going to be some damage dealt to the tier 3. But Na'Vi have Glyph.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if they actually break base here, especially considering how much they've used. But there is split available.
Dendi blinks in, gets the Siphon to Bulldog. He wants to go for some action. And with the burst damage, the E-Blade as well, bringing down Bulldog to about 25%. Now there's the backup. They've killed the Rat, and the Rat's dead for 110 seconds. Echo Slam holding Ake under the cooldown. A lot of hate there for the Swedish god. He's down as well. 2 heroes down on the side of Alliance. Artstyle, he's looking to clear out this push coming out from the treants that Bulldog has left in his wake. And with the help of the Fisher, they will be able to stop that push and keep their racks alive here. Oh, it's all kicking off here. 32-37. 2 heroes down at the moment on the side of Alliance. Silver Edge has been the item of choice for Pycat.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's just an item when you want Shadowblade to make your inventory slot more viable for the late game. Like, otherwise, you're just sitting on a 2,800 gold item. And here come Na'Vi. They're just barreling down middle lane. They definitely want this Rax. And in the meantime, Alliance are doing what they can to try to rat without the Rat.
I was going to say, where's your Rat now?
Yeah, he diebacked, so...
Where's your Rat now, boys? Na'Vi, they're up to the mid lane, and they should be able to clear out these mid racks. And, well, screw the racks. They're going to go for game.
Throne.
They're going to go straight for the
There's still a
tier
minute left
4s.
on Bulldog. There's no way they're going to be able to stop this, I think. Like, does anyone have buyback at all on Alliance? No, no one has buyback, so no one can actually like suicide to buy time. This is actually going to be really close. Can they do this?
Yeah, they're going to go straight here onto the second tier 4. Loda trying to stop out the push with the Drunken Haste. Link forwards, finds the clap, but he gets hexed up straight away. There will be the Shallow Grave there to help him out. Will he be able to get off the Primal Split? He will be able to get it off, but last time we saw how quickly Havors was able to eat through them. And Dendi, he's just hitting the throne. He's just going for game. Magic gets low. There's going to be Chain Frost flying out to the line. Line goes down. Line's going to buy back Na'Vi. They've lost 3 heroes. Pycat, he's just cleaning up, but Dendi and Havors, they're still alive. Pycat will pop the BKB, trying to get himself out. Magic going to look for the Hex, but Dendi pops his BKB, gets the dagger onto Magicka, and he's not going to chase down the line. Havors, he's just going for game. He's just hitting the Ancient, but Pycat and Magicka, they're still there. Bulldog's going to be back in 12 seconds. He will get hexed up, of course, but he's already got the Rocket Barrage out. Loda here, trying to get himself back in, but gets caught out by a Fisher. Of course, bringing Loda low, but the Shallow Grave keeping him up. Funnick trying to look for the stun, looking for the control. There's your Echo Slam to hold Loda back, but with a heal from Dazzle, Loda's still alive. He will go down. They do lose Funnick, and now Bulldog, he's returned to the game. Of course, he gets hexed up again by Magicka. He's got an Earth Spike as well to control. Of course, there's your finger. Havors goes down. It's a double kill for Pycat. Na'Vi, they've got 3 people off the map. Queen of Pain and Rubik, the only ones surviving, and now it looks like they're going to try and get a push on themselves. So Na'Vi, they go for game, but they don't have what it takes to really take it. And Alliance hold themselves into this one, Andy.
The only reason they're in the game right now is because the Lion actually got buyback gold during the fight. Like, when they were fighting, he didn't have enough, but then he got enough, like, as he died, and he was able to bring himself back in and disable long enough for the Bulldog Prophet to make himself back into the game. But why does this always happen when these two teams play each other? It's always like the craziest games every single time.
And we love it.
Yeah, and there's still like 75 seconds left on the gyro, 50 on Funnick. Now, can Na'Vi actually defend this? Because this is going to be 4-hero push. They don't have the right clicks, though. That's the problem.
And Bulldog as well, he's got the BKB. The classic, just stand there, hit the Ancient, and don't care what's going on. He's going to pop the BKB, going into Snako here. Snako will get 4 staff back. Dendi with the Glimmer Cape, trying to give a bit of a tickle here to Bulldog. And Dendi's hitting pretty damn hard here. Pycat, he's been armored up, and he's going to focus his attention to the racks in the lane. Dendi, he's coming in, pots the BKB, trying to burst down Bulldog. Bulldog's still alive. There's going to be the Shallow Grave to help him out. Chain Frost bouncing through. Bulldog, he's down to 1 HP. He is ticking down to the poison damage. Does need to make sure the heals are there for the Ake, and they are indeed. Dendi comes in, gets orchided up. There's going to be a Scythe. The Hex from Magicka, followed up by the Earth Spike, and there's your finger, but it's not enough to bring Dendi down. Pycat, he's found himself a kill onto Snako, and he's continuing to just hit the middle racks. That's going to be hard to mid-racks. This is going to be Mega Creeps favoring the side of Alliance now. And Na'Vi, they're just looking in worse and worse shape as this game goes on.
Oh, that was like such heartbreaking like stuff for Na'Vi. Like, they push down middle lane. They're assuming there's not really that many buybacks on Alliance. They know that Bulldog diebacked like 100%. And instead of just going to equalize racks, they go for the throne. I thought they would be able to do it, but Magicka's buyback kind of secured them the time that they needed in order for everyone else on Alliance to be able to successfully defend the base. And off that, their gyro didn't have buyout, so now it's just an all-in. Like, the only choice left for Na'Vi is to try to all-in down middle lane. It's a naked throne, and just try to win that way. But when you have Bulldog on the Rat, man, it's hard. Your base is going to be taking damage.
I think we need to see the Horse Rapiers come out.
He doesn't have anywhere near enough money for that. Like, he would have to sell his Talisman of Evasion, and then he would have to buy a Rapier from, like, what, 40% of the money that you need to actually get it? Roshan's up too, but I don't know, man. I think Alliance have secured this by getting Megas.
There's a Scythe now, complete for Pycat. And extra... Oh, Bulldog. He's fine. He's chilling out there. Loader might get caught out here, Loader. This is not your base. And
that's no buyback. That's 80 seconds down. It's pushing against Megas, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but there is potential for them to counter push. It's just... Oh man, with Prophet and Megas, it's so unbelievably hard to come back from that.
I mean, Dazzle's got Aghanims as well.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. This is a crazy game. I really thought Na'Vi had won it when they killed Bulldog again.
I mean, do you think, was that the best movement for Na'Vi to just go straight for the game at that point? Would they have been in a better position if they just went for extra racks here?
Well, yeah, because it would have been easier to retreat from the base. When you're going Throne, you actually don't really have a chance of backing because there's so many places inside of the base to TP behind the enemy team as they're running back. So you can't really get out if you're going for a Throne when the other two sets of lanes are alive still. But if you go for racks, retreating is a lot easier because there's a really short path between you and the exit. So
look at this, Horst and Funnick. They've been sent out as the pushers here on the side of Na'Vi, but Pycat's coming in. He's got himself a Cypher Vice. Oh, here comes Bulldog as well. This could not be great. The fish are actually catching out Pycat, but now with the Orchid onto Funnick. Funnick goes down. Horst will get the BKB off, trying to fight this one off, trying to get them all, but now as the BKB wears out, there's going to be the first Hex from Magicka. There's your Earthspike, the finger. Horst is now down for a good 90 or so seconds without buyback, and now they might lose to Neko as well. He's trying to TP himself out. He will make it. Now there's two heroes down on the side of Na'Vi, and Loader is now back up on the Brewmaster.
Well, I think those two kills kind of just secure the game for Alliance. Neither of them having buyback means that the lanes are just going to be pushing way too hard. Like, the only people who can really push out the waves are the Queen and the Gyro. So when those two heroes are dead, you have no lane counter push at all. And then you also have no way of being able to defend your base either, because Gyro is maybe the only way that they can kill Shadow Fiend at this point. And Pycat even has Hex, so there's buyback on Prophet again. So even if Bulldog dies, even if the Shadow Fiend dies, they can both buy out. This is could be looking like GG here.
Yeah, straight onto Tier 4's Dendi blinks forward with the E-Blade onto Pycat, but he is psyched up straight away. He will fall. Dendi down. He will buy back. Gyro buys back as well. Maybe they can look for some kind of defense. Horst with the BKB trying to clear out these creeps. Isn't going to find anyone on the side of Alliance. Primal Split comes out on Loader. Horst has been hexed up, silenced up, stunned up, everything up. He's been fingered up, and he might get caught out here. He will indeed. He goes down. And now it's just looking like Alliance dismantling Na'Vi piece by piece. GG is indeed called, and the first game of this two-game series going to the side of Alliance. And well, let's hope the second game was more of the first one, because that was a lot of action.
That was a crazy game. The funny part about that is there were two times where the team who was defending didn't have buyback, but gained buyback as the push was happening. So Horst didn't have buyback until they got to the base. And then he had buyback, but it didn't matter because Alliance had already megaed them. And Megas and the King of the Rats, I seriously doubt you can defend against all that.
Not at all. I mean, do you feel going into next draft-wise for you, was there any kind of weaknesses, or do you feel the draft was
I felt like Na'Vi actually had a really big advantage at one point, because when they were fighting around Roshan, for example, and Dendi TP'd back to kill Bulldog, and it didn't actually kill him, but he forced him back, and then walked down to the river when Funnick and Horst were doing a 2v4 and winning. At that point, I was like, all right, this game is actually pretty hard for Alliance, but the decision to Throne actually ended up hurting them so badly because they made them buy back, but they also didn't have buyback themselves when they were doing that, and it ended up like they were able to counteract, and the fact that Magicka had buyback just in time, like if he did not have buyback, they probably would have won the game there. So really close game. Really awesome Dota. Looking forward to game 2.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic stuff, and I hope you guys at home enjoyed the game as much as myself and Draskell. And we'll catch you, of course, for game 2 very shortly. But first of all, we're going to send you over to some commercials, and then over to Shane, Shiva, and Nikwe for some insight on game 1. But from myself and Andy, we'll see you guys in a bit.